You're checking in with the doctor for the greatest fantasy baseball podcast in the world, starring your hosts, Dr. Fantasy.
I'm ready to rock and roll today.
And Rydawg.
Harrison Masturbator.
Welcome to Doc and Dog, your fantasy baseball geniuses, presented by the Fantasyholics.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Doc and Dog presented by the Fantasyholics. And we are in the middle of our MLB mini-series where we are breaking down each lineup, rotation, and a few impact prospects for each major league roster. My name is Jordan Jaika, aka Dr. Fantasy, and I am here with my co-host Rydawg. And Rydawg, are you ready to talk some Kansas City Royals baseball?
Woohoo! Good old city of Kansas City.
And I don't think that this is going to be as short as our San Francisco Giants one, but probably going to be pretty close to it. So if you don't already, make sure you like the Fantasyholics on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Fantasyholics1, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you check out our new website, thefantasyholics.com. So with that being said, let's get into their lineup. Batting first for them, probably the most fantasy-relevant player, is Whit Merrifield. They have him listed in the outfield, but he also has second base eligibility, which is very key. He's currently going pick around 43, 44, right in the middle there. He's a guy, he's got good 2020 upside. I know you're very high on him. I'm not as high on him, just because Albies and Hyura go about 10 to 20 picks after him, and I think those guys offer more upside. I like their lineups better than the Royals, but there's no doubt that Merrifield offers a fair value at the top of that lineup, and once you get beyond kind of those three second basemen, it drops off very quickly, so I definitely think that grabbing one of those guys is really beneficial.
I agree. I mean, I like Merrifield because of his player eligibility, position eligibility. Sorry, and he offers that for me, and I like that a lot. But this team really isn't that great after him and Mondesi. I could agree with you. I think I would rather wait on Albies and Hyura. But if Whit does fall somehow, I would definitely be there to take Whit at the same time too. So I wouldn't take him at 40. The upside's not there for me.
Then number 2 in that lineup is Berto Mondesi, playing shortstop for him. Currently going pick 49, which was very, very surprising to me. Clearly when he's healthy, he has that ability to steal 50-plus bases, which I think is the reason people get a little overexcited about him. You see this every year with a player, and it used to be Billy Hamilton, and it seems like Mondesi has taken that spot now. People go nuts over taking a player that steals 50 bases. I mean, Mondesi has much more power than Billy Hamilton had, but it was really interesting when I was reading an article and found some statistics on Mondesi, but he, within the last 100 years of baseball, has one of the bottom 3 strikeout to walk ratios of all time. So his on-base percentage is yet to go above 300, which is really, really bad. And he has legendary ability to not get on base. And I mean like legendary within the past 100 years. He's one of the worst to ever play baseball to get on base. I think that long term he's going to be more of a Billy Hamilton than a Ricky Henderson, I guess we'll say. I think anytime anyone has speed, they want to call him the next Ricky Henderson. But, I think that long term he's more of a Billy Hamilton kind of player, unless he learns how to get on base. And based on his short time in the majors, I don't see that. And not to mention he has a little bit of an injury history. So with him going pick 49, I don't really want to touch him even anywhere near there.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want to either. I'd rather wait on the shortstop if I miss out on the top 4 like I discussed so many times.
Number 3 in that lineup is Jorge Soler. They currently have him listed as their DH, but he has outfield eligibility. He's going pick 84. I know a lot of people that aren't on the Soler bandwagon. He had a ton of potential with the Cubs. He, once again, based on what I saw, I always try to find the worst in players when I start looking at their analytics and their metrics. But man, I mean, he ripped the ball last year. He hit 48 home runs, and there wasn't really anything fluky, in my opinion, about it based on what I saw. So, I mean, if you're getting a guy that's going to hit 35, I don't think he's going to hit 48 home runs. If he does, good for him. But, I think he's at least 35. I'd be pretty confident saying he could hit 40 home runs again. And I think he has that ability. So going pick 84, I don't think it offers as much value as some of the other guys that we've discussed previously, going in the 100, 120 to 140 range. But I still think he's going right around Rosario. I think I'd rather have Rosario between those two. But I still think that Soler offers good value at 84, and I don't have a problem taking him there, but I think that's me believing in him more than other people.
I agree. Soler's a guy that he hit, like you said, he hit the ball really hard. Yes, I don't see him declining at all this year. Like, I see him hitting 35, 40 home runs again this year. Easily.
Yep. And now that we're past the top three guys in the lineup, this is going to go by very quickly. Number 4 is Hunter Dozier. He is currently listed as an outfielder. He has multi-position eligibility, also, I believe, at second base. So, maybe a little bit of value there because he's second base eligible. But in this lineup, I'm not crazy about him. He's going pick 182. If you want to take a flyer on a second baseman later in the draft, have at it. But if you're trying to target a good situation, this is not the situation for you.
No, it is not. I completely agree.
Number 5 in this lineup is Alex Gordon, the man, the myth, the Kansas City Royal legend himself, playing in the outfield for him, batting 5th. I didn't really realize. I mean, I felt like Alex Gordon's been around for a while, but he's 36 years old now.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
Wouldn't have guessed that. No.
So, yeah, he's 36 now. He has capped upside at that age. He has shown signs of decline, still pretty solid defensively, but for fantasy purposes, next.
I completely agree.
Number 6 is Salvador Perez, their catcher. He's been their catcher for a little while now. He's an older guy as well. He is currently going pick 160. He's once again one of those older guys. He's still elite offensively. He can still hit 25-plus home runs, and he has been consistently every single season. So when you're looking at that next tier of catchers, I really like Garver and Perez, and I could argue that Perez has better value than Garver just because he's going 30 picks later than Garver is. However, Garver's in a much better situation. He's younger. He's going to hit more home runs. But Perez, as a guy that's going as a back-end catcher 1, still offers 25 home run ability, so I don't have a problem taking him.
Yeah, I don't either. Salvador Perez, sorry. He's going later than I would expect. He's a former All-Star, but he's coming off a huge injury, of course. So I mean, I would take him as my catcher if he fell to me. I've been in a few mocks where people are reaching on him, and I would think that. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, I would say reach people. I've been in a few mocks where people are reaching on him. So I'm not going to reach on him, but if he's there, I'll take him because there's guys like Will Smith that are going later as well.
Yep, definitely. Then the bottom 3 guys in this lineup, I'm just going to zoom through just to say their names here. Number 7 is Ryan O'Hearn, playing first base for him. Number 8 is Maikel Franco, former big Phillies prospect, playing third base for him. And number 9 is Nicky Lopez, playing second base. And yes, those are all guys that play in the major leagues, in case you think I'm making up their names. But I'll start with O'Hearn and Nicky Lopez. I went through their statistics. Nothing really to write home about. Maybe bench play. To me, and it's one of those things, we talked about this a lot with the Giants. Both of those guys are AAA depth to me and guys that you call up if you really need to. So the fact that they're starting for them says a lot about the state of the Royals organization. Maikel Franco batting 8th, playing third for him. Big prospect with the Phillies. Has never lived up to it. Really low batting average. Still has raw power, but still hasn't showed it in games after 10 years now, so I don't think it's happening for 3 of those guys.
Franco's been in the league for 10 years. Yikes.
Probably since he's been drafted or signed 10 years.
Sounds about right. I mean, he has not hit. He can't hit the ball at all, it seems like, and his fielding was never good to begin with. He was always a guy that was supposed to rely on his offense, and he hasn't done that. I'm surprised he still has a starting job somewhere.
Oh, it is the Royals, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's it for their lineup. I'll go over to their rotation, and I'm going to list all of these guys out. None of them are being drafted right now. Me personally, I'm not drafting any of them. I'm not streaming them because they're on a terrible team. If you would like to, I will allow it, but I'm not. So you can have fun with your pitchers if you would like. Number 1 is Danny Duffy. I will say Danny Duffy. He's a major league pitcher. I would say he's more of a 5 guy in a solid rotation. He's a very average pitcher, though, so no problem. But he's their ace, so I just want to throw that out there.
I'll use that word loosely there.
Yes, I should get the quotations up here. Number 2 is Brad Keller for them. Number 3 is Jacob Junis. Number 4 is Mike Montgomery. And number 5 is Jorge Lopez. Any notes on any of those guys?
All studs. Take them all as your pitcher once.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what we should be doing is giving fake advice.
In all seriousness, no, we advise you guys not to stream these guys at all.
Closer for them right now is Ian Kennedy, who's kind of bounced all around the past few years now. Not going to have a ton of opportunities. He's going pick 176 right now. Seems like he's got not the most solid, but a pretty solid grip on that closer role. So if you're looking for saves in a save-only league, I don't have a problem with you taking him 176.
I mean, if you want to take a guy that's going to be on a 50-win team, have at it.
I mean, realistically, maybe you could argue that if they win 50 games, all 50 of them might be by 1 run. So maybe he'll get a lot of save opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
Then finishing it off with their impact prospects. And this is similar to the Giants organization. I will say the Giants organization at least has a solid farm system. A lot of them are far away, but they have guys like Luciano, given a few years, that could be all-stars. When you look at the Royals organization, specifically their farm system, it's currently ranked 17th. So when you start to see that, you're like, man, I don't know where they're going because their major league roster isn't great. Their farm system isn't fantastic. They have Whit, who's still far away, and I'm not sold on him yet. But really major league ready guys. They have Brady Singer, who's probably going to be at their rotation at some point just because they don't have any talent. Jackson Kowar will also be in their rotation, I'm sure, at some point. Both guys, they're solid. I don't think that they're going to be aces, but we'll see how they do. Only guy offensively that they have coming up is Khalil Lee in the outfield. He had 53 steals in the minors last year. Gets on base better than Mondesi already. So if Khalil Lee is up, he has 40-plus steal potential. I don't mind you taking a flyer on him when he gets called up if you need some steals and you're in a roto league. But besides that, not many other notes on the Royals for me.
Yeah, it seems like they're not going anywhere anytime soon from the basement. So they rented that out for 10-plus years, and hey, that's good on them. They
got a World Series out of it.
That's right. That's all that matters. They can now be basement living residents for the next 20 years.
As they did before. It's the cycle of the baseball world.
That's right.
So I think that's all we have on the Kansas City Royals today then. So once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been another episode of Doc and Dog presented by the Fantasyholics. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Fantasyholics1. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Dr. Fantasyholic. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And lastly, it seems like I'm asking you to follow and like a million things. Check out our website, thefantasyholics.com, which just rolled out, and we have lots of great content. So make sure you check that out, and we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.